Hey, teammates. All right, we just got a PSA submission return. These were put in at the $19 limit, and this is going to be more of a vintage batch, so some more old school in there. First thing, we got one card it looks like did not get sized. This one, I took a peek at it. This was a 55 Willie. The part of this one that I thought was unique is they marked it as altered, which, if they see an alteration, I get it. But they returned it without a penny sleeve. They just threw it in there. So these 55 cards, they're a little bit oversized. They don't fit in the normal ones. But for PSA, when you're, paying 19, 20 bucks a card to grade, I would have thought they would have had some oversized sleeves in there. But as you can see, showed up as altered. Yeah, it could be that it's missing some corners. Could be that somebody bent it. Looks like somebody played with the eyes a little bit or something at some point. But a pretty rough card, but regardless, it was a 55 Willie, kind of a fun little piece there. But anyways, we'll go through, we'll kind of dive into it. That was the only one that did not get a grade. There's a few others that got authenticated. But so that was our swing and miss. But starting off, we got some 1909 cards here. So some of the T206s as well here. I don't really know much about the T206 cards, the 1909. I know there's a lot of people that kind of specialize in it. One thing for me is I kind of like to be a student of the game and learn more about the sports and the history of the guys. And as a kid in the 90s, when I would go through and flip and read on the cards on the back, I'd be able to see the guys' stats, their all-star appearances, what they led the league in. Are they a home run hitter? Are they a base stealer? This one, all we know, it's baseball caramels. So not too much here, but Eddie Plank, he's one of the great left-handed pitchers of all time. I think he's third on the all-time wins list for lefties. So cool looking card there. Next one, we got this T206. We got a Mordecai Brown. This one shows up as authentic. It's got the red back, kind of crease at the bottom. These cards are just so cool. These cards we went through, I got them organized in the year that they came out. So we'll kind of get to see the evolution of the sports card as we go a little bit as well. Since we get to kind of start in 1909. Mordecai Brown, I didn't know much on him. Again, the backs don't go through and throw much out there. So I Googled him and tried to do a little bit of research on him just to see, tell me what this guy's about. He lost a couple fingers in a farming accident as a kid. So he would grip a baseball with 3 fingers and became one of the jock pitchers. And throughout the dead ball era, I think he had an ERA around 2 or so, it said. But cool pitcher. Love the hair. Mordecai Brown. Next one here, we got John McGraw. Glove at the hip. This one got a PSA 2. Fun getting a numerical grade. Anytime, as you can see, when you get these cards in the holders, that's almost a partial win in itself. John McGraw, didn't know this one, had to go through and do some more digging. But one of the winningest managers, he was coaching for the New York Giants before they moved to San Francisco. So John McGraw, no relation to Tim here that I know of. Next one, we got this T206 Arch Persons. Arch was the only one without a Wikipedia page of the 1909ers here. I did find an interesting article where somebody was trying to do research on this card and on this person, and we're not having much luck. So that was kind of a good little read. But yeah, I don't know much on Arch Persons, but I know that this guy got a PSA 3. All right, diving in here, we got the 1933 Goudey. This would be the Lou Gehrig rookie year set, I believe. These cards are just pretty cool here. So this one was graded a 2 MK. The mark is on the back. Somebody wanted to update the team from the Yankees to the Bees, or so it looks like. See, here's where you go through. You get to spin this around and look on the back. I bought an old collection of a bunch of old Yankees, and this card was in it. So when I flipped on the back and read it, I got this card probably a year or so ago, and I just thought I'd send it in just because it's a 33 Goudey. It says, where does it say? On the back here, on one of the spots, I think it said that he was one of the first players to wear spectacles. So Danny McFadden going through bringing the glass attire. So I was just thinking, if I was an optometrist or something like that, this would be one card I would love having hanging in the clinic. Just a cool look here. So pretty good stuff here. Next one we got Robert Lefty Grove. Another one of our lefty great pitchers of all time. He's in the 300 win list for the lefties. 33 Goudey gets a PSA 1. Next one we got Ducky Medwick. 38 Goudey. You can kind of see the evolution. You can kind of see the crease right along here on it. Kind of a nice card. Still has its corners. Pretty rare to see with those. PSA 1.5. Up in the ante a little bit here. We got a 1941 play ball. Ted Williams gets a PSA 1. You can see, we'll say multiple reasons why the grade on that case, but you know, some cards, regardless of condition, they just deserve to be in a slab. And a 41 Ted certainly meets that quota. Just a young-looking Ted there. Good stuff. Keeping it going, we got a 1941 play ball Joe DiMaggio. Of the submissions that I've went through and done, this is there was 2 cards in this order that got upcharged. So this was put in at the $19 limit. They upped the charge on this one to $75 to get it graded, but 41 Joe gets a PSA 1.5. Next going out, we got a 1948 Yogi gets a PSA 4. Keep it going with the evolution of the sports cards. We're up to 48 here. We got the Stan the Man Musial here. So the Man, this is his rookie. He gets a PSA 4. Good looking card there. Stan, super cool story. Everything you read about him or everything like that, just stand-up guy, super well liked amongst pretty much the whole baseball community in the era. Next, we got the Warren Spahn card. Going through doing some digging on these, it seems like you'll see some people call these things rookies, some people won't. You know, I think he's got like a 1947 top bred card, so I don't know what the ruling is for the people to say what is or isn't, but 1948, this would be your winningest left-handed pitcher of all time, Warren Spahn. And he was also the winner of your second Cy Young Award of all time ever given out. Don Newcomb of the Brooklyn Dodgers was the first to win the Cy Young Award, if you ever get that trivia question thrown at you. Jumping a few years forward, we got a 1950 Joe's brother, Dom DiMaggio. Also, we'll call him a spectacle supporter. I remember I was in high school and I went through, was reading on old baseball players, and I didn't know about the little professor here until I saw it, and I saw he was Joe's brother, and I'd never even heard of Dom until I was in high school and kind of started reading on him. And once I saw the glasses, I was like, oh man, I'm a fan. I like it. So 1950 Dom gets a PSA 5. Jumping over to 51, we'll kind of speed it up a little here too. We got 51 Ted gets a PSA 3. I haven't had a lot of cards graded with the unique sizes, but it's kind of nice to see how they throw these in. This one, it looks like they almost have like a frame built out that they throw in there too. So that one gets a 3. This one gets a couple grades below, probably deserves a few more lower than that, but this one gets a 1. Kind of a thicker case. And another one gets a 1 here. This one they went through and they kind of put like a coating on the cards on the case. I'm not sure how they decide why to do that. But a few 51 Teds. All right, then we're jumping into 53. We got the Bowman Color Stan. Surface looks great, but you know, these cards are just so hard to hit in decent grades, but fun pickup there. Next we got a 54 Bowman Mickey, PSA 1. Just missed out on being a 10 by about 75 creases, amongst other reasons. This one, I don't know if you want to say a little nicer, a little worse, depending on what you're looking for in your cards, but another version of the PSA 1, we'll say. Jumping here, we got a 54 Ernie Banks Topps rookie card. This gets a PSA 3, the old Cubby logo, one of the iconic cards out there at the time. So we get the 3, next one gets a 1.5. Keeping it with our old school, jumping into 1954, we got a 1954 Topps Jackie Robinson. Gets a 1.5. Again, this is the area you go through, you flip it on the back, you get to read about the guys, how they hit, when they come into the league, just fun stuff. 54 Willie gets a 1. Again, some of these oversized cards, they're so much older, 70 years old, and they're oversized. They don't fit into the sleeves. This one looks pretty sharp, but if you look close, you can kind of see we got the dreaded pinhole in it right there. Around the time period, it was just cool. This is artwork, and that's why those high-grade copies are worth so much. If somebody saw a card or somebody that they liked, they'd take a pin, put it on their wall, and that'd be kind of like hanging a poster. So, but that being said, great eye appeal for the 1 here. Sometimes I kind of think the holes just add a little bit of flavor to these old guys. That's these cards sometimes, it's cool seeing them in high grades, but they just seeing them beat up, those cards were just loved. Next we got a 55 Bowman Mickey, a 3. This set is pretty brutal to go through and see that it exists with corners. It's got the wood siding, the chipping. It's like a mini TV. It says color TV there. Gets a PSA 3 with a miscut. Kind of a little bit of creasing. Next one we go through, it's a 55 Mickey. We'll say miss slight paper loss. Slight paper loss with heavy spots of slight paper loss, multiple. Next we got a 55 Willie, landing a PSA 3. Keeping it going here. Here we got a 55 Bowman Hank. This one shows up as an authentic altered. I'm not sure what they're seeing with the alterations. I don't know, maybe someone colored the sides or something. I'm not sure. I'd have to take another look at that one. Next we got a 55 Pat Summerall, graded authentic. This one I just thought it looked centered, looked good. I thought it had a chance to grade, decently well. But the thing I like on these cards, like a lot of kids growing up in the 90s, I root for the Dallas Cowboys. And this is a card I just go through and look at it and I just hear Pat Summerall's voice. Touchdown, Cowboys. So, just a cool one, one of those, the voices of your generation a little bit. Him and Madden just used to call the games and, again, just cool one to go through and have in the collection. Next, we got the heavily coveted Jerry Koosman rookie card featuring Nolan Ryan. This guy gets a PSA 4. 68, tough set there too to get good grades. And then the next Nolan gets a PSA 3. So kind of some big ones in here, fun ones. Nice thing on it is only one of them did not get labeled, or one of them didn't get slabbed. The rest of them all got slabbed, so that's kind of a victory in itself too. But yeah, fun order to get back.